Today's vlog is a sit-down video answering legal queries sent to us by our followers on Instagram and Facebook. And I'm very excited about this collab with a fellow mom and content creator, the mommy blogger behind Atty Mommy, Atty Camille. Well, that's the vlog. Hi, Atty Camille.
Hi, She.
Please get our viewers.
Hi, everyone.
Can you tell us something else? A brief background.
I'm Camille. Hello. Nice to meet everyone. I'm also known as Atty Mommy. I am a wife of Jonathan and I am a mother of 2 girls, Juliana and Talia. And I'm also a lawyer. So I'm very glad that she invited me for this collaboration.
The pleasure is mine, Atty Camille. And thank you for accepting my proposal for this collab.
You're welcome.
So, let's start.
Okay, let's begin.
First question. I have 2 sons with my ex-boyfriend, ages 6 and 5, and nasa kanyang custody. Gusto ko makuha yung mga anak ko, pero married na ako sa ibang lalaki. I'm a stay-at-home mom and husband ko lang nag-work. Possible pa rin ba makuha ko sila?
Well, to answer that question directly, yes, it's possible. The general rule kasi ng custody ng children is children below 7 years of age belongs to the mother. So unless there are compelling reasons, the custody is given to other persons. So in her case, we don't know now why the custody belongs to the father. Pero she has the right to get the custody of her children. First and foremost, you have to know the location first of the children and the father so that you can So, alam ba niya kung saan ang
Hindi daw niya makontak yung father. So, ano kaya yung pwede?
okay. So, well, to proceed, no, at to start, you have to know the location of your children and also the father so that you can seek the necessary assistance from the barangay or from the PSWD or from the court.
At ang follow-up question niya, anong process sa pag-file ng custody?
So first, you have to determine the location of the children and also the father, because if you will file a petition for custody, you need to send notice to the father, both parties, sa'yo at saka dun sa father. So kung hindi mo alam where the father is and the children, may hirapan tayo. So I think that's the first thing that she has to determine, the location of the father.
Next question. I'm a single parent. Hindi nagbibigay ng sustento yung father ng anak ko. Ayoko naman gumastos mag-demanda kasi feeling ko hopeless na ako. Gusto pa ng father ng anak ko na magpa-DNA test siya. Paano po dapat gawin?
In that case, kasi for custody cases, you really have first to determine yung paternity ng bata. So, in this case, I would assume hindi siya in-acknowledge kasi single parent. So, na-acknowledge ba siya sa birth certificate? If no, if yes, then mas madali na to file for a petition for support kasi may birth certificate ka to prove na anak niya talaga yung bata. If not, kung walang acknowledgement sa birth certificate, you have to have another proof like an affidavit of paternity. Inaamin inaako ng lalaki na siya yung tatay ng bata. Tapos handwritten and signed by the father. If you have that, then good. That can be admissible. If not, then you would need to consider other documentary support. Like, siguro yung one example I can think of, if kapag may insurance policies, if yung anak mo ay beneficiary nung tatay, then of course the court may consider that as evidence. So to answer the question, we have to first establish yung paternity. You have to prove na yung bata ay anak talaga nung lalaki.
So may right yung father na mag-request for DNA test?
Of course. Kung mag-agree ang nanay at tatay ng DNA, then good. If may isang tao na hindi papayag, then pwede nyo do court order.
Number 3. Nag-abroad po ang asawa ko at hindi na nagpapadala ng sustento. May ibang babae na din po siyang kinakasama. Ano pong pwede kong gawin sa kabukod?
This case medyo complicated because the husband is out of the Philippines, out of the country. So, medyo mahirap habulin, even using our own laws. Siguro, if the wife has a knowledge, so mag-asawa sila, married. If the wife know na umuwi yung asawa dito, then that's the time that she can file for a petition for support. Oo. Una, if she knows na nandito sa Pilipinas, she can ask for assistance from barangay. Lagi ko sinasabi yan to, in any conflict, in any case, amicable settlement. First, try your best efforts to reach an amicable settlement. So, if you know that your husband is here in the Philippines, you seek the assistance of barangay, you seek assistance of the court. Last resort na yun kasi if all else fails, then that's the time that you file a petition for support. Yun. Pero in this case kasi, nasa abroad so medyo mahirap. You may need to seek the assistance of a lawyer dun sa country where your husband is located.
Medyo costly yun.
Oh, of course, it will be costly kasi you would need assistance of 2 lawyers. Lawyers dito sa Philippines to assist you in what to do. And of course, to enforce the decision na makukuha mo dito sa Philippines, you need the assistance of a lawyer, no? Dun sa country where your husband is located. Medyo costly yun, and of course, time consuming.
So, nag-hope na lang siya na umuwi dito sa Philippines yung husband niya, tapos malapit niya.
That's a really unfortunate situation kasi mahirap habulin ang wala dito.
Next question. Hiwalay na po kami ng asawa ko. Ang problema po, iba ang name ng asawa ko sa birth certificate niya at sa marriage certificate namin. Valid po ba ang kasal namin?
If there is a technicality lang naman, no? Ano bang mali dun sa name sa birth certificate? Is it just a typographical error, spelling, or if it's entirely different, like yung name, first name and surname, that's ibang kaso yun. But to answer your question, if valid ba yung marriage niyo? There are requisites kasi of valid marriage. Una, if you are married, yung age nyo, 18 years old and above, and then there's consent between the 2 parties, man and wife, man and woman. And then formal requisites like marriage license, you had a marriage license, and your marriage was officiated by an authorized solemnizing officer, and there was a marriage ceremony that was conducted, then if all of those factors or elements are present, then your marriage is valid. In your case, mali daw yung name ng husband. Magkaiba yung name. So, that's just mere technicality. As far as the marriage is concerned, it is valid. Unless there are other grounds na I think wala naman kasi kulang yung information. But your marriage is valid. Siguro the recourse na lang on this situation is, bakit na-issue yung marriage certificate na mali yung pangalan? So you can seek, you can file a case siguro on the officer who took care of the printing of the marriage certificate. Yun lang. Pero as far as the marriage is concerned, it's valid.
Next one. Medyo mahaba yung question niya.
Ano yun?
Nag-apply po ako as solo parent sa MSWD sa amin. Pero according to them, hindi daw po ako qualified. My boyfriend impregnated me and said he didn't want to do anything with the baby. To cut the long story short, I kept my baby and gave birth to her last May 2019, having her surname same as mine. No father is listed in her birth certificate. I believe I'm a solo parent, but the woman at the desk of our provincial office said that I am not eligible because she said that I'm claiming abandonment, which needs at least 1 year separation or 1 year of abandonment. Is she right? Am I not eligible to be a solo parent under the law?
You are eligible to be a solo parent under the law. However, yung ground na pinili mo
Abandonment.
which is abandonment, is only applicable for married couples. So, ikaw kasi, unmarried, for unmarried couples, for unmarried father or mother, your option under the Solo Parent Leave Act, Solo Parent Leave is number 8, which is a married mother or father who has preferred to keep or rear the child or children instead of having others care for them or give them up to a welfare institution. Or yun nga, instead na ibigay mo sa orphanage, paampun mo, you decided to keep the child and take care of the child on your own. So that's the option, that's the ground that you can use as to avail of the solo parent benefits. So this abandonment, the officer, the SWD officer is right na you are not entitled based on this ground. So use the other ground that I told you. So para you will be considered as a solo parent under the law.
Siyempre kung sino yung may custody sa child, siya lang yung pwede mag-apply for solo parent.
Yes, yes.
Eligible siya, mali lang yung ground na ginamit.
Yes, unfortunately, she wasn't advised by the officer of the day of the other grounds that she can avail of. Now, alam na niya.
Next question is, meron bang pwedeng i-civil case kapag pinangako ang papakasalan in writing, email, etc. Then iniwan yung babae at mga anak. May love letters na handwritten at boyfriend-girlfriend kami for 8 years.
Okay. So, meron tayong specific case that was decided by the Supreme Court on breach of promise to marry. In this case kasi, the bride and the groom already had preparations, wedding preparations taken care of. May hotel na, may bridal gown, reception, flower girls, lahat, everything. And then a few days before the marriage, the groom sent the wife a letter, a note saying that I will postpone marriage because my mom proposes. I will be back. Apparently, he didn't come back. So the bride, hurt and all, filed a case for damages against the groom, which the court found as valid kasi, but let me clarify breach of promise to marry is per se, or in itself, kuwari nangako sa'yo na magpapakasal, tapos hindi niya tinupad, in itself is not an actionable wrong. Merong certain factors na kinoconsider ang court before it allows damages, payment of damages. In this case kasi, particular case, the damage has been done kasi may mga monetary considerations na eh. So, in that case, the court awarded damages dun sa bride. So, in your case, andun sabi na, may anak kayo, but the father parang reneged on his promise to marry. So, based on my initial assessment, it would be hard to file a case against him for damages based on breach of promise to marry. Siguro your recourse would be to file a case for support, financial support from the father. Kasi if you have the documents naman to prove, the birth certificate, knowledge naman ng father, or other documentary evidence na proving that the children are his, then you can file the petition for support.
Next question. Pwede ba mag-change ng last name ng bata pagdating ng 18 years old? Anak sa pagkadalaga pero sa ama na papangalan. Wala na ba reverse ito na yung may pangalan ng bata sa nanay, lalo na hindi naman involve ang ama sa buhay ng nanay?
Okay. Well, under the law, you cannot really change your surname without judicial intervention. I mean, you have to ask for the court to allow that or to order that to happen. And there are certain factors to consider. Hindi basta-basta pwedeng mag-change ng surname once your surname has been registered already. Ayun, there are implications kasi if the child will change his name back to the surname, syempre, you will lose the right to inherit from the father already. And also, madideprive yung child to enjoy the benefits of having father's surname also. So, yun lang naman. And that's why the court is very strict also in cases wherein the mother files for a petition for the change of surname. But it's a different scenario if the child is already of age and he is the one who petitions the court for change of surname. Yun.
So at the age of majority, meron siyang choice whether
It is assumed na it is really your own choice na gamitin yung surname ng mother mo instead of the father.
Next question. There's a last will and testament, and she claims that she's a legitimate child, but her name is not included in the last will and testament. And walang iniwan for it. Anong request?
Okay, so if there is a last will and testament, even if your name is not there, but you are a legitimate child, nung namatay, you are still entitled to your portion of the mana. Unless talagang naka-specify dun sa last will that you are disinherited or hindi ka pinapamanahan ng kahit ano. Pero hindi lang basta-basta pwedeng i-declare yun. There are grounds for disinheritance which we can discuss next time. But to answer your question, yes, you are entitled to your portion of the mana, even if your name is not stated in the will.
Next question. How can we protect our family from illegal copying of information and cybersecurity?
Okay, so siguro before we post anything online, let's be very careful, be wary of the especially personal information which we share online. Kasi once we post it, you technically cannot undo it or erase it from the web, diba? So especially when it comes to our kids, please be mindful of what you post, the location of your kids, school, the birth date, yung address, and other personal information, huwag nyo nang i-post. And then, also siguro, let's monitor the websites or the websites that our kids are visiting. So, and also we do have, ano ba yun, yung mga parental controls. Let's avail of that. It can help in a way para ma-prevent yung mga copying of information and for our own cyber security as well. Also, one more tip for bloggers, if you would like to protect your creation or your content, if you post pictures or videos, make sure that you put watermark para it will not be that easy for others to just use your content elsewhere. And also, if you need to use or to post other content of other bloggers, make sure to acknowledge the source. Always put the source or the source of information in your blog. That way, you protect your own and you also acknowledge the original creator of that post.
Alright. Final question. Medyo mahaba yung kasi niya. So, may corporation po kami, restaurant business. It is registered and office address niya is in Mandaluyong. Pwede bang sa Taguig mag-open ng restaurant? May other requirements pa bang i-gawin?
Okay, so just to clarify, you have a corporation that you already registered in the Securities and Exchange Commission. Your question is if you can operate a restaurant in Taguig.
Yung main office is pero yung restaurant is
Okay, so if you have a corporation that is already registered, duly registered sa SEC, then well and good. If you prefer to operate elsewhere, like mag-open ka ng branch in a different location, well, I think the first thing you need to consider is you have to apply for all the requirements, business permits, mayor permit, sanitary, all the local government requirements first before you can operate. Otherwise, you can be held operating without a business license. So I wouldn't advise you to go on and operate without these requirements, especially business permit, which will if found that you are operating without business permit, you can be held liable to pay penalties or even lose your business.
Follow-up question, di pa tapos lahat ng papers namin pero nag-operate na kami noong May 2019. Bawal po.
Well, it's good that you know that it's bawal, especially if that document missing is the business permit. Kasi if you operate without a business permit, definitely that's bawal. So, I would highly advise you to take care of all these documentary requirements first before operating.
I think the other follow-up questions, negative na yung answer natin, but let's read it.
Okay.
Pwede na bang mag-hire at magpa-sign ng contract sa employee kahit self-registration pa lang ang meron?
Well, when you operate a business, it includes hiring of people. So technically, if you don't have business permit yet, you cannot really hire people or employees. So once you have the business permit, then that's the time that you can hire people, because application of business permit would need your registration sa mga government like SSS, pag-ibig, PhilHealth of your employees. So if you will go ahead and hire these employees, this means without business permit, this means that you will be hiring them and not give them this government mandated benefits na bawal under the law.
So I think that's all the questions we received from our followers on Facebook and Instagram. And thank you so much, Atty Camille, for answering these legal queries. I hope this vlog will benefit our audiences. Maybe we can do it again next time.
Yeah, sure. If the audience would like to send us more questions, feel free to do so. Just contact she or me, and we will do our best to answer all your legal queries right away. So thank you. Hope you learned something from this vlog.
Let us know in the comment section if you like another episode of this legal advice vlog. And don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you like this video and you find this helpful. And don't forget to subscribe and follow our social media accounts.
Yeah, please like and follow my FB page and Instagram. That's at AttyMommy, AttyMommy. So that's for both Facebook and Instagram. So please, I'll see you there. And if you want to read more of my posts, legal updates, and others, you can go to my website, www.attymommy.com. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.
Bye.
Hi everyone! Today's vlog is a sit-down video.
Relax ka lang. Okay lang yan. Hi guys!